Hi Sagittarius, happy new year and happy January. Oh no, your card took out my little turtle. We're gonna start off with a few oracle cards to set the theme of your January and go from there with pulling the rest of our tarot cards, and then I'll pull some more oracle cards to speak to your career and studies, your health, and your life purpose, life path, and what was the last one? Relationships. And okay, so as I'm saying that, I'm pulling out the romance, focus, and serenity cards. This is an interesting pairing. And I'm noticing with the focus, there's a heart in the thought bubble of this octopus. And so I'm going to start there. The octopus is, right, typically a symbol of multitasking and having a lot going on. You being capable of doing a lot, but it could be dangerous to take on more than you're able to, even though you have 8 tentacles. The question here is like, should you be using all 8 at the same time always? So figuring out priorities and focusing on them is going to be important. And I see this actually as coming through for existing relationships, existing partnerships. So if you're in a relationship, you kind of doing relationship work. I mean, however you interpret that, it could be like really just sitting down and figuring out the dynamics that have been popping up in a relationship with a romantic partner. It could be committing and focusing on getting serious with a certain partner. It could also be just spending more time doing fun, loving things together. You focusing on this romantic partnership in January is coming through as your message, and it's bringing you a lot of serenity. It's getting kind of a message that's why it feels like an existing partnership that's been around, that you've been in for a few years. So if this isn't resonating for you, this part is that I'm going to say is for people in those long-term existing relationships. It feels like it became too easy to deprioritize it. It became almost taken for granted on both sides of the partnership. So like doing work to reconnect and cultivate that connection is going to bring you a lot of peace in your life that you've been missing. You haven't really known why. And it's because of this partnership that in both of your minds, you're probably like, oh, it's going fine, you know, we don't need to tinker with it at all. But actually, I think you just both learned to kind of live with what is, you know, to get through other pressing things that were happening in life. But now's the time you can really bring focus back to each other, not only each other, but to the relationship, is what I'm seeing. It's not just about giving attention and priority to the other person. It's about both of you giving attention and priority to the relationship that you build together between you two. I think this is maybe lavender, and I'm seeing like a similar flowers come up here. I think it's like a lupin flower as well. So purple flowers like this are coming in as significant, and you might want to use lavender scent in your home or as your personal perfume that's coming in. So let's get more messages for Sagittarius in January as they focus on their romantic connections and build serenity for themselves. Okay, let's put these here. If you hear rustling, my cat found a little piece of a package and it's like turned it into her favorite toy. So she's right off the side of me. Page of Blades in reverse, the moon, and 8 of Blades. I'm remembering that the romance, I think, was the card that flew out and knocked over the turtle. So I'm thinking, I'm keeping that in mind as well. Page of Blades in reverse, the moon, 8 of Blades. There's something in your relationship that you feel you can't do, and it's not true. It's actually just a worldview that you inherited from something disappointing in your childhood. It's coming through like weirdly like this, like you just thought that every person or every say marriage, if you're in a marriage, like fighting is normal in every marriage. Just for example, it's something like a mentality or a view of what the world is like. So this was informed by a, like, say, dysfunctional family relationship where, for example, maybe your parents or caretakers were always fighting, and that just became your definition of what like marriage is. And so with the 8 of Blades, this is kind of your worldview, but it's actually a limited worldview because that's not true for everyone. It was true for you, but it doesn't have to, when you're a child and your family of origin, but it doesn't have to be true for you now as an adult in your own relationship or marriage if you're in one. This hasn't been, you haven't been aware of this, but it's coming to light with the moon in a very deep healing way. So yeah, that could be like the issue or the situation that you're in, that you see fighting as normal in a marriage. And yes, it is, of course, but also learning to resolve the issues is normal in many marriages as well. So you might be redefining for yourself what a normal or a desirable marriage is for you, and learning to kind of question and depart what you have held to be true, kind of like just intrinsically from your upbringing before. It's like you have a very important opportunity to rewrite the path forward for yourself. And on some level, you have this knowledge. You just never thought that this was meant for you, this way forward. So maybe you've seen growing up your friends' parents communicate in like loving ways, and when they have arguments, it was not in the same way as your parents. Maybe it felt less chaotic, maybe it felt more productive. So you have a knowledge of the things that you respect and you want to see in your own relationship. It's just a matter of you thinking that it wasn't for you. But your cards are saying that whatever you want is meant for you. So if you wanted to have a dynamic more like that, it's possible for you now to become aware of that, understand why, and then work towards it. I feel like I want to get one more card here. Yeah, so this is speaking to complete transformation, body, mind, soul, and life. And so the death card is also referred to as the rebirth card. That's why you have like the desert, right, and the skull, but you also have the super bloom, is what happened, what an exciting event that happens in deserts sometimes, where suddenly after a long dryness, and if there's rain, a lot of rain, then all the flowers will kind of bloom at once in the springtime, and it's very beautiful. So that's kind of coming in. I don't often read this card that way, but that's coming in. Super bloom for your relationship. It's like all at once you're going to have all these enlightened moments of how you want to rebirth your relationship life, and your mind, body, soul, and your partner are ready to respond with the same energy, and then you get the super bloom in your life of your relationship. So this is a really nice time in your life for your relationship. Let me check if you're not in a relationship what this message is manifesting as. So if you're not in a relationship now, or if you're in a newer one, it's the same thing. So even people who have been in long-term relationships, they still carried this energy from childhood. So if you're not in a relationship now, you're still carrying this energy and these expectations and worldviews from your childhood too. So you can also give focus, to what you really want to see in a partnership, and it may depart from what your existing truth is right now. So it's a very difficult shift, but it's a huge transformative shift that brings you a lot of peace in the future. And these are flowers again blooming. Yeah, you're growing serenity in your life. You're growing peace. You're growing a garden where there was desert before, metaphorically, in some way. So it's so full of hope right now. And it just takes you to kind of look towards that thing, and figure out how you can go about healing it. If you're thinking of something right now and it feels, your initial reaction is like, this thing can't be healed. That's the thing we're talking about here. That's the thing that actually your guides are saying can be healed. If you give yourself time, you'll see how. So I'm going to get some more cards now to cover messages for your career and studies, your life path, your relationships, and your health. So let's see what's happening quickly in your career and studies. You're getting these two fire vibes, and tomorrow will feel better. So there's some sort of healing that you can do with a disappointment in your career and studies. This thing might feel like a disappointment, but it's not a setback in any way, and it's not deterring you from your path. You can kind of just let it go to the fire, release it, and let it be in the past. You're not veered off your path by this disappointment in any way, however that's landing for you. Let's go with your life path, since we mentioned that. There you go. Poinsettia, number 27. Cast the shadows, scream silence at them. Dear witch, what lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauty. That's interesting. So it's resonating with the message here, right? Cast the shadows, scream silence at them. What lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauty. So something that looks scary and desolate actually is holding the seeds of the most beautiful super bloom, right? Again, so this focus on your romantic partnerships, your healing, your interrelationships, your intimacy with others is a big part of your life path going forward. I'm drawn to the 4 candles here. It makes me think of 4 of Wands energy. This is something that you signed, a big part of like the payoff, I'll say, that when you committed to this partnership, and karmically when you committed to this life path. So if you're not yet here, if you haven't met your partner yet, you can get kind of a head start on this work internally, because it is internal work to do with your relationships. Yeah, for you, it's meant to be started before the partnership. For people in partnerships, for you, it's meant to be worked on now that you're already together. It's a big part of achieving those spiritual foundations of security and bonds, connecting to others. Okay, this is for your relationships, even though the whole reading was about relationships. Universal love is true love, so love all. Number 42. Oh, so it starts with this romantic partner, but it resonates out to how you love and interconnect in the world more broadly. So this is healing a lot of stuff that will radiate out into every aspect of your partnerships, your relationships, your connections to others, your universal sense of love. So it starts here. This is the seed, but it grows into the super bloom of love in your life that you can partake in and facilitate and give to others as well. Okay, last card is for your health, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. Water, experiencing the healing power of water, number 9. So hydrate, spend time near water, go to the beach, even if you're just looking at the water. It's funny you have a lot of elements here. You have the water and the fire. Having a bonfire at a lakeside or a beachside is going to be really healing for you, and also something you can do to bond and really give time to that relationship. Focusing on the elements, especially fire and water. As I say it out loud, it makes me think of alcohol. So I don't know, if you haven't gone out with your partner in a while and gone for a night out, this could be a great opportunity for that. But yeah, I would say for most people, like wherever that's resonating for you, if you feel great, say in a sauna or in a hot tub, and that's really like connective for you, this is very practical advice. Just like, go rent a place for the weekend that has a hot tub, spend the whole weekend in the hot tub together, something like that. You can kind of be creative and figure out for yourself, how to get your relationship into those elemental forms to help heal it. And that's your January message. I'm wishing you the best month.